increasing revenue.
I'm gonna leave those three line items in there. I'm gonna leave the box in too, if everybody's okay with that, or do we wanna cut that out?
I'd take it out.
Okay, we'll take the box out completely. And then for the angle plow and the box spreader for spreading salt, I'll do a transfer in. So that'll go to, I'll increase transfers by 30,000. So basically it's a net of 45 positive between the two things.
A net of 45,000 on the 83.
No, I'm down to 60.
Okay.
Where are you at?
I'm about there.
Scott, can you tell me historically, are snow events getting less and less? I mean, it seems to me just that
The last couple years, yeah.
I'm at 36,753 left. Is that what you're at?
Don't let the other departments know what we've recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I started looking Brad's all excited.
Well, we deducted 6,000 from fire, we deducted 15 from this, and we added 30, which is a reduction of 30. Right?
Because I'm right there, but I'm not exactly what you got.
Okay.
Are you good with that, Scott?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You got all this voice, okay?
I assume we need tires and all those things, but.
Well, we don't need them, just won't go driving. Yeah. No, we do need the tires.
Okay.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay,
Thank you.
You bet, thanks, guys.
What's the number you have?
I'm gonna look at this.
Water's next.
No, public facilities is next, yes.
He's got to get going.
He's got a what? You got an appointment? Oh, well, if you, hey, Molly, you got an appointment? Hop up here.
Whatever you want to do.
You won't take that long.
Okay.
How much do we need? Got him 36. See you, Tom. See ya.
How long was I in there?
Where's there for?
You seriously didn't cut anything from Brad's?
Brad hasn't
He hasn't
gone.
gone.
Should he go next? I can wait.
No, we'll get you out of the way. What page is airport?
Jacob, what page is it?
35.
35. What are the storage building improvements?
Storage improvement is existing building we have, and I'm gonna widen up the door so I can get that door sweeper in it.
Right. Currently, we have a storage building and the sweeper does not fit in,
Correct. Yeah.
so it sits outside.
We don't have a building
outside.
out there that would fit in, right?
Not
Is there-
right now, but if we do, if we can get that door widened up.
Is that Perry sweeper or the airport sweeper?
Airport. Like existing doors like 14 foot and the head of the sweeper is 17 foot. Needs to get in where it's warm.
Anybody have any concerns or questions on his budget? Not, I vote we move on. Nothing here, yeah, I'd say nothing here. Thank you. Tom. Now we are on the Brad.
Back.
All right, let it
Pages that we looked at here.
24.
to start, because page one.
Okay, what do we got here?
You know, I didn't get out there. How terrible are the municipal park tennis courts? We took Westmart off because of,
Unknown future.
yeah.
They're need repair. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Is it repair of patching or is it
No.
the surfaces?
It's just getting dull.
Come on, Brad, balance the budget, let's go.
Brad? Brad,
I
are
wanna
people
bring one.
complaining, people
We gotta
complaining
eat.
about it?
Yes.
Citizens are?
Well, yeah.
And the pickleball people, I think, too. No, because that's a different court.
And the high school uses it.
Right.
High school, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're complaining,
Okay,
but the
I'm
high
just
school
asking, I'm
uses
just
it.
asking.
Middle school,
More so about the other one, but we're not doing that, that one got cut.
yeah.
Did you talk anything about the old public works building repair?
That's on my radar.
No, so there's a couple things I wanted, I mean, so, I mean, we can cut 40. If we don't do the tuck pointing. Because the tuck pointing is really contingent on getting a grant. And if we don't get the grant, then we won't spend money.
Right.
Because I think the most concerning thing with that building was that the gutters in the downspout were non-existent. But that's been repaired, so does it need to be tuck pointed at some point? Yes. But the area that was the biggest concern has been addressed.
It's not gonna get worse.
So I don't want to say it has to be done this year.
Right.
It'd be nice, I mean, if we got a grant, then yes, we'll do it.
But it's still, I don't see it coming out of this budget. I'd see it coming out of, like, Main Street. Wouldn't it? The top one, 40 grand?
No, I would keep it in here,
Yeah, you probably-
city building.
Why, because it's a city building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason,
I mean, we could always stick it, we could always throw it in the Main Street Theater
Yeah, I
budget
think that's what
page.
it was saying.
when would that grant be applied for? And when would it?
Boy, I don't know the time frame. I thought it was late summer, maybe somewhere in there is when I applied for it.
So I'm just thinking out loud here, so if you apply for that and then when are those funds available for use? Do you have to commit the money now or can you say we apply
Oh
for it?
boy, I don't, honestly, Mark, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it because the comments that I got back from whoever decides, we weren't even close to, it wasn't even close to where we were gonna get any money. So I could just kind of, I read their comments and then I stuck it in my pile for
So it's
next
one,
year.
so it's a grant you're gonna have to continue to apply for, and it's likely not gonna happen this year, is that?
Yeah, and it was through the state, Heritage,
Highway Heritage
it
Foundation?
might have been the Heritage Foundation.
I would just take
So I don't know what that time frame is.
So I guess kind of my question is, do you have to commit the 40,000 to keep applying for it?
No,
I-
not in most of those grants.
No, well,
He's asking,
Did
do you
I
have
come-
to show that we have the earmarked money?
I think we do. I think we do. I've only applied, I'd have to look back at that
Or is that,
application.
is that at the back end, once you've done the work and you submit your receipts?
I don't know. I mean, it will have to come forward to the council anyway, because I think a big component of that application is we basically need to hire an architect to look at the building. And, you know, if you guys remember when we did the downtown facades, we had,
Yep.
was it Peter? Was it Pete?
They come out of Des Moines.
Well, I think he was out of Omaha, he was. was.
Okay. I know.
But that type of person has to be on board for this
To evaluate it.
because of the type of building it is. And
Okay,
so I lost a lot, I will tell you, so I lost a lot of interest in that, in that because of some of the rules that applied, that were tied to that application. And that's why we failed so miserably in that first application, because that was, I think the first thing on their list was, you don't have that person on board. So it was basically a moot point from there. But, I mean, so I'm saying, I mean, it could be, you could take 40,000 off of it right away.
Okay, the wall repair in the old Public Works building.
Okay, so that brings up a bigger question that's kind of been kicked around for a while now, is do we want to continue to hold on to that building?
So-
that property?
Time out,
The sentiment of the committee was to sell the building.
but I'm not sure we legally can.
Well,
I believe we
Or can
can.
we?
yeah, I think we can, at least it's probably a discussion for a different day, but I think you probably can.
Okay. Because my question was this, how much revenue do we get out of that building a year from Stockton?
Very minimal.
Okay,
Where does that show? That's
Well,
probably
I-
not gonna
I
show.
don't even know.
but we've got 3 departments screaming for inside storage. We have 3 departments screaming for inside storage.
They're probably all three.
Probably
gonna tell
actually 4 if you want to get technical.
you.
We
Yeah.
got water, wastewater, streets, and Brad, who want inside storage, right? Okay, so if we're not getting much revenue, why don't we just take it back or just let, whenever, he's not happy. Well, I didn't think he wanted to stay there either. So, or he does now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants to buy the building.
Okay, last I heard, he wasn't satisfied with that location, and I know I'm not hearing things.
Well, he's never said that to me. Well, the last time I talked to him, he said he likes where he's at.
Okay,
The only issue he's ever had is of all the locations that he has a business in, that's the only place he rents. Otherwise, he owns his
Okay.
properties in other places.
then, okay. Because I was just gonna, okay, then void what I'm saying here.
But it's, yeah, I mean, but I think it needs to be discussed. It was the last attorney, city attorney, last city administrator, whatever council was, makeup of the council at the time, when that whole cleanup of that site was occurring, okay, and the amount of money we had to spend on it, and it's no guarantee that it's never gonna cost us in the future. It was the consensus that we'll never get rid of it. We'll keep it, that way we have some control over what people do on it.
There's restrictions on the property that you
Yeah.
can't disturb the soil, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so the question is, are you better off owning it so you control it? That's the issue.
Or do you sell it, those restrictions still follow the property to the new owner, but then the worry is,
Well,
The liability.
Liability on it.
can they ever come back to us?
And that's what we've explored and we don't have a clear answer on yet.
Yeah, other than it states in there that if the EPA comes up with some kind of new contamination removal equipment or process, they could come back and do another cleanup of that site. And then, is it gonna cost us? Because it cost us the first time around, we didn't do the contamination to the site,
And it costs us.
but we
a
were
lot.
the current owner, so it cost us.
What would this wall repair actually accomplish?
It's very drafty.
Oh, yeah, on the walls, yeah, it's gonna be furred out and insulated from the outside to cover all the cracks in, and then, steel over. Be just the north wall.
North wall.
But I think, yeah, I don't know how long the process would take if we decided as a city to sell that piece of property. I don't know how long that process would take. It takes public notice, probably.
If we investigated that and didn't do this work, how would that sit with the tenant, the current tenant?
Well,
And I don't know how bad it is, though.
well, I mean, occasionally he'll complain.
Can you see through the wall?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
crack.
there's spots.
Yeah.
All the windows on this wall are rotten.
Yeah.
Nothing can't expand over the wall, won't take care of.
I think that was even talked about.
But why don't we put this one on hold?
Back to committee.
As long as I'm not on it. Let's put this one on hold, because if we're kind of uncertain and if we have a buyer that, and what he could or couldn't do on an EPA's future or not future recommend, there's no predictor here. So let's not worry about that. If we have a good buyer, I personally myself am in favor of buy as is, here it's your deal. And that's where I'd be.
Do we need it in here though, in case we don't have a buyer, and we need to keep?
That wall's been that way for the last, what, 5 years? 8 years?
Since we left.
Right, so the bottom line is no,
I
there's
didn't know if it was
fire.
something that's getting worse or if it's.
That's the part.
There's no urgency to it.
Okay,
I'm good with that.
so we're taking that out.
Anybody else?
Brad, fire rings, can we take you down to 2,500 and you do some this year, do some the following year, and do some the other year?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That just takes care of all of them.
Yeah, let's just take him down to 2,500 on that,
Take them down 2,500?
to 2,500. And do them in a ongoing maintenance thing. Art center software's good. Front steps on the art center, you guys did up it, okay. You did up it, good.
Why is that?
Deterioration,
Oh, yeah, they need replaced.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Do we know if 15's enough?
I didn't really get it priced out, no.
It's a big set of
So
steps
it's-
and the concrete is crumbling
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
A couple
Just a lot of years
pillars,
of salt
it's
on
got
it.
some issues, it's not just your normal fix.
So the improvement to $10,000 more dollars is just to make it a more accurate estimate.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
kind of what we came up with in committee.
Yeah. Yeah, the original estimate was just me throwing a dollar figure out there.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you something, if it's done to that building, does it have to be some special contractor?
I don't believe so.
Okay, all right, so that is a historic building. So,
Yeah, we would probably,
so 56.
yeah. I mean, we could never put just wooden steps on the front of it, but
All right,
I think if it's just a,
okay. Other IT and miscellaneous, Brad?
What's that?
What is this other IT and miscellaneous? 25,010, that is $25,100.
It's just for if he hires somebody to help with, like I think on the docks out at the campground, like any contractor he hires would go under there to do work
Okay.
on the facility or.
Okay.
maintenance
Oh, I
stuff.
see.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of various things that fall.
That's
into
just,
that.
yeah, miscellaneous, that's you know, HVACs or concrete that we need to replace. I mean, there's a number of things, vandalism.
Oh, all right, so what do we have all taken out of here so far? Wall repair, fire rings, reduced. Tuck pointing, did you take is it 40 out of tuck
It'd be
pointing?
40, wouldn't it?
Or 140?
No,
It'd be 40.
it'd be 40.
Net.
It'd be
You take the 140 out, and then you take the 100,000 out up above in revenue.
Oh. Okay.
That's more than that, Brad.
Brad,
Yeah, you've been a big contributor.
You're bleeding.
Goodbye.
Yeah, sit down quick.
Next year you go first, Brad.
Hey, what did we take away from him though? It was 40 and,
The wall repair,
111, 112 grand.
okay, that number needs to be publicized. We cut the public works by $111,000. What's that?
Who's next?
$112,000.
Okay, so that's it for, well, this jumped to administration and finance, and kind of finish up the general fund real quick.
What page is
And
that?
then, so a lot of that's just, like city council, finance, legal. I don't know if anybody has anything they wanna mention on those. I did under city council, again, late last week, Thursday or Friday, we got our Simcoe's dues, what they're gonna be for fiscal year 23. So this was based on the previous fiscal year, so they are going up. So that needs to go from 9,100 to 10,300. So it's a $1,200 increase.